found the best zoo habitats on the planet and brought them together in one place. A world we call the Ultimate Zoo. Lifestyle of jumping and climbing, preventing premature arthritis. While this added both authenticity and practicality to designs, the chimps would soon find another use.
And what we found in this exhibit is that with the very soft substrate that we provided, they actually like to nest on the ground here, which isn't what they do in the wild.
In the wild, chimps would nest high in trees to avoid attacks by leopards. But with the threat removed, these chimps demonstrate their clever ability to adapt to their new environment. Also in the wild, most of the chimpanzees' cognitive energy is spent looking for food. At Lincoln Park Zoo, though, the nutritious food provided by the staff would often exceed the standards of their wild diet. And while food would be hidden to encourage foraging, the chimps would still have a lot more time on their hands than they would in the wild. This was a big problem. If the chimps weren't engaged in the habitat, then the entire focus of the exhibit would be a failure. The inhabitants needed cognitive stimulation. Steve's answer? Give them the ability to control elements of their environment.
So throughout the exhibit, we've placed a number of animal-activated devices. And for instance, right here, we've got a fan that's built into this sort of rotted-oak stump. Inside there's a fan that can be activated by a touchpad. You know, we're going to reach in and turn it on, just as the chimps might. And by simply putting your hand over it, there's a light breeze that comes out of here. In the winter, it'll be a warm breeze. In the summer, it's simply this moving air. And this, of course, gives the opportunity for apes to create a little microenvironment of their own, make choices about the types of environment that they want.
And the chimps must figure out how the fan works by themselves.
Just as, you know, chimpanzees in the wild would discover things on their own in the forests of Africa.
The habitat's most intriguing feature is a simulated termite mound with termite holes strategically placed. It's designed to encourage the chimpanzee's unique ability to use simple tools as they would in the wild.
We will be putting treats in there and simulating that natural behavior for them, and also studying how they learn that behavior, because our group of chimpanzees has never seen a termite mound before.
Having never seen a termite mound in their lives, Dr. Lonsdorf isn't totally sure the chimpanzees will exhibit the ability to make tools. Although the chimps have shown interest in the termite mound, they will have to discover how to fish for treats in the holes by themselves. Baiting the termite mound is the next big step for the chimps and the exhibit. Coming up, the termite mound is filled with treats, and the fishing venture begins. Will it fuel a new level of chimp activity in the habitat, or will this long-awaited interactive feature become a huge bust? Next on Ultimate Zoo. Regenstein Center for African Apes was designed to be the ultimate ape and chimpanzee exhibit in the world, paving the way for how zoos will be designed in the future. It's also a premier research facility that allows primates to display a wide variety of natural behaviors and social interaction by giving them choices within the habitat. That puts the chimpanzees, one of the most intelligent animals in the world, in control of their own daily lives. With the help of Steve Ross and Dr. Elizabeth Lonsdorf's expertise on chimpanzees, a realistic termite mound was created to encourage the termite fishing behavior. After displaying a great deal of curiosity towards the mound, today is the first time that chimps will be able to search for actual food.
About how they actually obtain that food and how that behavior is transmitted through the group. So what we do is actually fill these clear PVC tubes with substance that we know they like. In fact, every chimp I've ever worked with likes yellow mustard.
Once the tubes are filled, Steve takes them to the termite mound by entering a side door that accesses the chimp's nighttime shift areas and down a hall to the backside of the mound.
I think they have to get a stick about at least 8 to 10 inches long to get this. And of course, the hole that this leads to the outside goes right to the outside. You'll be able to stick the sticks right in here and actually see the sticks poking in and grabbing some of that mustard.
The designers of the exhibit bisected the mound with glass to give visitors and researchers a rare view of the inner workings of this clever enrichment structure.
And as we build more and more complicated tubes with bends in them or curved and so on, we'll be able to see whether the apes are adept at making those types of choices and building sticks that are long enough or flexible enough to get at the food trees.
The researchers wait patiently to see how the chimpanzees react. This is the beginning of what will be years of valuable research. 13 cameras around the exhibit record the behavior below, and throughout the day, all the information is noted on special PDAs and downloaded into a central computer for analysis. At first, there is little interest in the termite mound. The chimps are content to climb and flatten. Then it happens. A female chimp is brought in a tree branch from outside and is casually climbing and playing with it. Then, without much fanfare, she makes her way over to the termite mound. Perhaps she has got a whiff of the mustard, or perhaps she's just interested in those 8 holes. But whatever it is, the structure has piqued her interest enough to make an awkward attempt at pushing a branch into a hole in the mound. At first, the stick is too thin. Understanding her error, she begins to whittle away at the bark to make it more accommodating. The stick is fashioned into a more effective tool. Finally, she does it and gets her first taste of mustard. She will make several more attempts at improving her tool, and within an hour, she is dipping mustard with surprising efficiency. As expected, another chimp soon joins her at the mound and makes her own attempts at the holes. The learning process in the troop has begun.
Once one figures out, I think it'll be really quick that the rest will just watch and pick it up just like that. I mean, it really takes just somebody showing a behavior and everybody else can pick it up really quickly.
Most of the interactive devices, like the termite mound, give the chimpanzees choices to control their own environment within the exhibit. Still, there is one chimp device with an extremely different focus: the visitors themselves. Here, just because you're behind the glass doesn't mean you're out of reach.
You can see in here there's a small touchpad into which the chimpanzees can reach, and by activating that, they activate a short air blast that comes out in the visitor area and actually blows on the visitors, gives them a quick burst of air, and hopefully gives them a little bit of a fright.
The blower gives the playful chimps the unique opportunity to go beyond the typical nose-to-nose viewing and actually control the interaction with the visitors in a way that's safe, insightful, and entertaining for all. With these amazing devices throughout the exhibit, the Regenstein Center for African Apes has given chimpanzees ultimate control over their environment. In the process, the Lincoln Park Zoo has shown the way of the future for the ultimate zoo.
The fact that we designed this to be good for the animals, for the public, and for researchers puts this facility at the forefront of modern ape facilities, because no other facility has really integrated research as much. So I think it's really pushing the boundaries of being able to do research, but in a public venue, in a place where you have thousands of people coming through each day, and that will be able to observe that.
Coming up, it's literally one of the coolest exhibits on the planet, as St. Louis Zoo attempts to recreate the chilly Antarctic environment for a close encounter with a penguin. That's next on Ultimate Zoo.